we are about to get underway. Cerys, of course, top cut finisher in seniors over at Sao Paulo, top 32 at the Sacramento Regional Championships, and Justin Templer has had so many incredible finishes, though most of them come in the seniors division. He did just get a top 8 finish down in LAIC, kind of his statement beginning to his Masters run. He's making a good run here for his freshman season.
Yeah, he talked about it already. He just wants to make that approach here as well in the regional championships, and he's doing just that. It's a little easy to build on what you've done at LAIC, and now he's back here at it again. It's great to see. He's doing it with a different deck this time around. We've seen him play all sorts of different things. This time it is going to be the lone representative of Golden Go, and we saw it before. He's got a really unique line of some of these items and trainer cards that he's added in. We'll see how they add up against Cerys and this Dragapult.
Yeah, Cerys is also someone who's played a couple different decks. She's played Dragapult before, so I know she's pretty experienced here and has to be experienced in this matchup, and definitely has plans, I would imagine, thanks to that Moltres being in the mix. Things to note here, Justin not playing the picnic basket, something we see sometimes from the Golden Goal players. That could be a way you could respond to some of that setup damage to set up for the Moltres knockouts. That's not something he'll have in his arsenal. I have to probably just on paper favor Cerys a little bit because of that Moltres option that she has available. We'll see if it comes up.
Yeah, that's what we're all wondering at this point.
Well, I think especially you.
I'm gonna make everyone wonder it with me. Let's see what the prize cards have for us, and it is not the worst on either side. Unfortunately for Justin, that one copy of Buddy Poffin is not a great sign to see. So often that is the immediate search off that initial Arven.
Yeah, counter catcher for Cerys is something that could cause a little bit of concern, especially up there at the top of the prize cards. But overall, I'd say not too bad for either player. We were able to see Justin navigate the prizing of Buddy Poffin in his game against Jesse Parker on the winning end just fine. And there's the fist bump. Here we go. Game 1 kicking off. And it will be Cerys Jones with the opening turn. Kicking it off now with an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from the hand in order to search the deck for any basic Pokemon. Cerys has started that Duskull in the active spot. Of course, the Dusclops also strong with their Cursed Blast abilities. One of the mainstays of this Dragapult deck. It's what gives it so much power.
Right, we've seen this combination in times so often. This is what you're looking to do. You set up that Dusclops or Dusknoir, you pop the ability, give that prize card to your opponent. Sometimes the damage counters are the most important thing. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it gives you that access to counter catchers so that you can bring up the right Pokemon and attack in with the ferocity that is a Dragapult EX.
And just a bench of the Badoo and now a pass over to Justin. Cerys is, of course, sitting on a Lily's Determination. That'll be great for her on the next turn, but no energy drop. Maybe a little bit of something to be worried about. Justin will kick off his turn with a Nest Ball, searching the deck for any basic Pokemon, putting it down. Did start a Gimmighoul. Have to imagine at least a couple of those will hit the board this turn. He'd also, of course, love to get that Lunatone Solrock combo established, his main draw engine. Yeah,
this is the last ride for the Golden Go players this tournament. If we want to see one make it past the top 8, it will be all on Justin to do that here. As we've seen at every tournament, major tournament that we've had so far, at least one of these players has made it to 6th place or better. It's on Justin to do that here. He's got a good start now with the Gimmighoul and the Nest Ball. He's starting to search out that key engine there with the Lunatone and Solrock.
It may be on Justin to move on for the Golden Go players, but I think it may be on this Lunatone's Lunar Cycle for him to continue to advance this turn, as it doesn't look like he's got too much to work with. I did not notice a supporter, but there is at least a Solrock in hand with the basic fighting energy. So it does look like Lunar Cycle is in Justin's future. A couple Golden Go EX in the hand. Not bad if he can find the Gimmighouls to support them. 3 cards to draw here. And I do see the Arven. That could lead to the secret box, which could give him so many options.
Yeah, it's a nice card to find. It gives you a few more resources to peek at. We'll see what he does have available at this point. We know that he did have 1 Artisan prize. He also prized that Buddy Poffin, so do you go for a Nest Ball strategy, or do you actually just use the secret box at this stage?
Yeah, maybe with the Gimmighoul, right, could just go with 1 Nest Ball. That would be 2 in play. Would feel maybe okay with that. Did look like Justin kind of grimaced a little bit at his draws. It looks like he's got 2 Superior Energy Retrievals in hand. He's got 2 Golden Goes. He's got that Genesect at Boss's orders as well. So kind of tough what he would want to discard off the secret box. That is the catch with the card. It is so powerful, but you do have to give up a lot.
If you go with that, you're likely discarding something important in your hand, or at least a valuable resource for later in the game. If you don't, and you still want to attack this turn, you have a dilemma as well, because your only energy is in the discard pile. You could superior that out, so you could attack with Soul Rock and use an air balloon, but that doesn't feel like a great answer either.
It does look like we will see the secret box being played. It will discard the Vitality Band that was also found off the Arven. And the Genesect goes down. That's not too bad if you have your Golden Goes in hand, but let's not forget Cerys' deck is playing a full suite of 4 Iono.
This feels like Air Balloon, Artisan, Earthen Vessel, and a supporter. You just don't really want to give up on what is a free prize card staring you in the face in that Duskull, but potentially, he can do that here with the Fighting Gong as opposed to a Vessel. That's even nicer because he does not want to discard anything from that hand.
And the question will just be now, what supporter does he grab? We know he's playing that one of Cypher Maniac's code breaking, but it will be a Boss's Orders to replace the one that he discarded, perhaps allowing him to continue to be aggressive in future turns. Artisan, of course, can grab out another Gimmick Ghoul, add that to the board, and hey, taking this first prize does quite a few things. One, it gets Justin out in the lead. He's able to strike first. But also it does remove the threat of any sort of Dusclops into Dusknoir plays in the future.
Yeah, it also presents a threat to Badoo on the other side, where the item lock is not nearly as appealing when you know that it's immediately KO'd on the other side for no energies to the discard pile.
Very strong turn for Justin, as it will end with him taking the first prize card. Cerys happy to promote that Badoo into the active spot. Draw for turn is an energy card, and the Lily's Determination will yield her 8 cards. Not before Night Stretcher brings that Duskull back into play. An incredibly important card for the general strategy of her deck, and now 8 cards still to be found.
And of course, we saw without the use of Artisan at this stage, it's very nice to see that sequencing to help out here, as Cerys wants to see a nice full board and then also use that Badoo in combination, and really would love to see Dracloak at this stage. If you have that Pokemon, to start using Recon Directive, you can start to burn through the deck a little further and just have that urgency about building up this board, not only wide, but also tall.
Well, there's a Dracloak. There is also a Dreepy. Pretty solid findings here for Cerys. Not much to work with outside of that. Lots of energy, lots of Pokemon, so she will use the Artisan to grab a Pokemon out of the deck. And right away, Kyle, there it is. The Moltres being brought to the front of the deck. Will it hit the board this early, or is this more her just checking to make sure it's there, since it is such an important card for the matchup?
I mean, if there were ever a hand that liked Moltres, it would be this one. There's 3 different available energies for this Pokemon, but you like to see that it's there, and there's no urgency because you don't see the Golden Go just yet, and you're not countering the Artisan. At any point in time, you can bring this Pokemon into play and hopefully combo that with some free retreat.
Yeah, Artisan will stick around here. The Fighting Wings, 20 plus 90 more damage of your opponent's active Pokemon, is a Pokemon EX. So, of course, for the Fire Week Golden Go, that will be 220 damage. So if she can set up enough damage in play onto these Golden Goes, that'll be a single prize Pokemon that's able to take a 2-prize KO, which is, no matter what era of the Pokemon TCG you're playing, a very strong strategy. Justin here will take the hit of the Itchy Pollen. No item cards able to be played. Happy to evolve a Golden Go initially, drawing 1 card with the coin bonus. Has another Golden Go in the hand. Can retreat this Soul Rock and get a coin bonus for 2 if he'd like. No, just will use it from the bench here, seeing what he finds. No fighting energy. He does have Boss's Orders to chase a prize card here. Not much really working here for Justin.
Yeah, and at this stage, are you more concerned about a Duskull, or do you want to just remove Badoo from play, put that pressure back onto your opponent? They don't have a free retreater ready to roll. They don't have access to any combination with the Moltres just yet, so I think you just remove this and try to play your game.
And that's exactly what he goes for here in Cerys with a nice top deck. Finds Dracloak, will use this first Recon Directive and a second one to go with it as well. Boss's Orders added to her arsenal. She could get the first hit off on a Golden Go. Actually already had a boss in the hand, so she's got a couple of ways she could potentially play this. There is the Dragapult. Yes, let's evolve that before the use of Lily's Determination. Still finding her 8 cards in these early turns.
Yeah, it's one of the benefits of playing this deck is always having access to that in these early stages of the game, it's very unlikely that you'll be taking the first prize card here, and now we see the setup starting to develop. And what has Justin really accomplished in these early stages? Yes, he has a couple prize cards, but there's not a guaranteed KO on the other side. We haven't seen that many energy cards yet.
Cerys going to find 8 cards here. Buddy Poffin, not bad. That can find that last Dreepy if she wants to go with the full board here. May want to conserve the bench space, I suppose, for future Pheasantippides, which of course are powerful. Of course, also making sure that Moltres is able to come down at the opportune time. Looks like she may just be content with the use of Phantom Dive. That will KO this active Solrock. And now let's see where that damage gets spread. It will be all 6 onto this Golden Go EX. Justin happy to promote it. Air Balloon is there, but Jamming Tower, of course, is throwing a wrench into that plan. Justin able now to play those item cards. He's got an S-Ball in hand, so he could find his Solrock once again to keep the lunar cycles rolling. Will start it off with the coin bonus to draw 2. That's a pair of fighting energy. Energy cards are a pretty big part if you're trying to take down the 320 HP Dragapult EX.
Yeah, that lines up very nice. It's not so often that you just see the cards just like that, but sure enough, they are here now. There is a Jamming Tower, so moving into the other Golden Go doesn't work out. It's just the single draw off this coin bonus, but we do see the energy starting to accumulate. 4 in hand, Superior to go along with this. Did you get a look at the discard pile? It might be just 2. That's at least 2 more energies that would be required at that stage.
Yeah, he still definitely needs a bit here, but a knockout for Justin on this turn would be so strong. Cerys does not have much of a board established outside of it. Just 1 Dracloak and no energy on that Pokemon. She would need to find the Neo upper energy in order to get attack. And perhaps here, Kyle, this is where the Moltres could be working for her.
Yeah, there's that option there too. You have guaranteed retreat, if you want to call it that, in the Dusclops, being able to be promoted and then popped so that you can move back into that Pokemon. But we saw in the hand for Cerys, there is a pink card. So a few different answers to this spot. But is there even a knockout lined up for Justin here? I think he's still a little short.
He's got access to 7 energy as of now, 3 in the discard pile, 4 in the hand, and 7 is how many you need to discard to one-hit KO Dragapult EX, but he also has to attach 1 for turn. He needs the energy required to use Make It Rain, so he is 1 energy short, and Kyle, I don't think he has any more dig in this hand at the moment.
Yeah, he had a debate of whether he wanted to search for the Fez or the Solrock at that stage. Chose Solrock, they both draw 3 cards, but really wanted to see access to both of those pieces. Instead now just has to forego that. You even just chip into this Pokemon.
He's got Boss in hand, so he could take out the Dusclops. He also could target Dracloak. I don't know if I would hate the Dracloak takedown here because Cerys is going to be eyeing to use Iono later. That could make her own Ionos hurt her a bit, but Justin is going to chase after the Dusclops. That does open up the most plays for Cerys on her next turn.
Right, and you were saying that it makes sense. If you take this Pokemon out, yes, you're not limiting what can happen in the hand because your cloaks are not being challenged. There will be some secondary attackers, but you're showing that you don't mind this as long as you can set up your side of the board. 3 prize cards remaining. If there is ever another Duskull played down, it likely isn't going to be very beneficial for Cerys. Popping at that point means just a 2 prize card knockout ends the game.
Well, where 1 Dusclops goes down, a Duskull can replace it. Cerys playing Buddy Poffin to find that Pokemon. Does leave that last Dreepy in the deck, perhaps due to a Dracloak being in the prize cards. Ultra Ball will be played to discard 2 to find any other Pokemon. Another Dracloak could hit the board here. She does have another Lily's Determination in her hand, so there is still draw power available to her as an option. But with this shuffle, I have to think that it's going to be Recon Directive first. Could be Iono as well. There's the attachment of Neo Upper Energy. And yes, Iono will be the move, sending Justin's hand to the bottom and giving him only 3 cards.
Yeah, this is the difference between the Solrock Lunatone and the Pheasantipede is if you had that Pokemon in play instead, you have a guaranteed answer when this Golden Goal is KO'd. Now you need to find the energy, which still seems like an easy thing to do, but we did see not only a lot of energies, but also superiors now being put to the bottom of the deck.
Things are lining up very well here for Cerys. She'll be able to one-hit KO. I guess not quite one-hit KO, but KO this already damaged Golden Go EX for 200 and set up 6 damage counters on the bench so that it can be KO'd by a follow-up Phantom Dive or the Moltres were it to come out. She's definitely, I think, feeling pretty solid here. There is the KO. Let's see how she spreads her damage on the bench. Will it just be all 6 on Golden Go? Yes, indeed. 2 more prizes for Cerys, tying things up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, it lines up so well now. You have the answer. As long as you have that second Dragapult EX down with the Neo Upper Energy already available, you can take that KO onto the Golden Go. But also, if you find that Moltres and you need to include it into the exchange, you can do that as well.
Justin needing some help from the 3 cards off Ino. 1 draw for turn. It does look like Fighting Energy is there. There's quite a few access cards to his energy. Fighting Gong, Earthen Vessel being available. How many energy does he have left in the deck is, I guess, a question worth asking here. Looks like there's the 1 fighting he just found and just 1 more fighting available. So that would be a pretty weak Earthen Vessel.
And then this, using the Fighting Gong here now, it means that you are going to get a shuffle of the deck where you solve all of these different ways to retrieve energies. If only solidifying those were the answer to this puzzle, then maybe that's okay. But I think the additional draws with Pheasantipity or something like that may have been more impactful. It's tough to say if using that here now is the most beneficial to you, or you can survive on these 5 draws and hopefully see what you need.
Yep, can still find Pheasantipity here this turn, right? Nest Balls and all as ways to get that Pokemon out. And Justin shaking his head. Not much found off the coin bonus. He can get rid of the Golden Go. No, he's just going to draw with the Lunar Cycle. Nest Ball can get that Fez. He also does need to get down another Gimmighoul, though, as he should assume this active will be KO'd. But putting down a Gimmighoul does give Cerys a on-board win condition through Hawlucha or the use of a Dusclops. She's already got the win with the use of the Dusclops, I suppose, with the Lunatone and Solrock in play. This is definitely looking pretty solid in Cerys' shoes.
Yeah, a lot to consider now. You have the access to draw up and at least take this knockout. It seems like that will be there, but at this point then, can you really afford to play down this Pokemon? I think you have to. You can't just bank on being able to KO a Duskull. If Dusclops comes into play but then isn't popped at any stage, you still have a problem, and that you just won't be able to reach that without Premium Power Pro.
Kyle, I think he might be short again here.
No way.
He's got 1 superior, and I think, is that 2 energy in his hand? So that would be 6 energy. He's just had to attach 1. He has Earthen Vessel. Okay, that can get the last energy out of the deck. So I think he will be at exactly 7, assuming that Fighting Energy wasn't drawn as one of these cards.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the problem. You've gone through the deck, but you just haven't thinned out very much with the energies to the discard pile.
There was a metal in there still. Okay, so that was hiding in the midst of the deck. So that will work. This will get Justin to exactly 7. He will take this knockout. But with no disruption available, as we know Golden Go players typically do not run in their lists, it'll be on to Cerys to potentially close the game out this turn.
And now we'll see what Justin's thought process is here. He will forego the Gimmighoul. That means his best answer right now is to have the Solrock and the Premium Power Pro to KO a Dusclops that would be evolved on the following turn. If that's the route, then so be it.
Gonna also set up the top of the deck with the Cypher Maniac's code breaking. Of course, worth noting here, as Justin will be going down to 1 prize with this KO, Cerys actually will not have access to the Dusclops, as by using it, she would just give Justin the win with just his 1 prize card remaining. And so Justin not benching the Gimmighoul is actually not giving her any sort of next turn win condition.
And this is the beauty of the Cypher Maniac's code breaking as opposed to an additional Arven or what have you. Yes, it does give you the cards that you were searching out. Typically, they are the items, but you just placed the right cards on the top of the deck for an Iono situation. But now we have to see what Cerys has on the other side.
I think I'm kind of favoring Justin in this position.
That's what I'm saying.
Set himself up really, really nicely. 7 cards going down. Dragapult EX going down. Justin with just 1 prize card remaining. And what can Cerys do here but hope that Justin does not have the Premium Power Pro in his list, but I feel like you've got to know that the way he has played this, he's got a way for Solrock to take his last prizes.
I mean, they spent 2 minutes staring at it to start
Good
the game.
point.
We're in a new format of this.
New era here, open deck lists for Top Cut, so she knows that that tech card is available, and she also knows there's no picnic basket as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is brilliant from Justin. He has it all sitting on the top of his deck at this point. He just needs to draw into it with Fez. So is there a world for Cerys where you can set up a different Pokemon in the active spot than he was expecting, but then not take the KO just yet? Can you warm this up? I don't know if it's all there.
Hit the Fez for 200 maybe, spread some damage to the bench. Maybe get the Blood Moon or Saluna in the mix to take the KO. But we know Justin set the top of his deck up, so that's not going to be helpful. Latias will be found here, can provide free retreat to the Duskull. So now Cerys can move into whatever Pokemon she would like here.
I suppose if you've seen enough energies to the discard pile and you don't think that Justin would set up Superior as a way to close this out, then maybe going after a Pokemon like that Pheasantipity would make a lot of sense. You could lock that Pokemon up, but this is a different way. It is Badoo trying to slow things down, saying you don't have an energy card.
But where does Cerys go from here? Yes, maybe she'll buy a turn, but after this turn, I guess perhaps trying to disrupt the cards. Now she can go into an Iono on the next turn, disrupting what Justin had put on the top of the deck previous turn, right?
There are levels to this, and we are seeing every one of them. The cards that are being drawn now don't benefit Justin, and we see the Iono off the top now for Cerys. There are a lot of different avenues. Is this where you feel comfortable, or do you want to wait one more turn as you know that 2 cards were placed on the top?
She can get back into the Badoo with the Hilda that she has. Can find her the energy she needs.
Finds a Turo. If you want to pick this Pokemon back up now, I think you buy one more turn and then pull the trigger with Iono. This is really sneaky from Cerys here.
Yes, and that's what she's going to do. Itchy Pollen locks Justin out of being able to play those cards. Justin taking account of Cerys' deck. I cannot imagine the numbers that are running through his head right now as to what this could be leading to.
He's nervous of deck out potential, but he doesn't realize that this potentially is even further than that. She could probably set up a winning board state in consecutive turns now. If you set that up with the pausing and the Pheasantipity promotion.
Oh my gosh, Kyle.
Oh, she thinks she's got it.
We're going Itchy Pollen, and that is it here. Cerys feels like that Justin is going to lose this deck out battle, and I wonder if that is going to be the case.
I mean,
she's not even saying the words. She's just moving the Badoo up to signal, yes, I'm using Itchy Pollen. What are you going to do about it, Justin?
What stops it at this point? Items are the only thing that refresh his deck at this point. He has no access to hand reset. There is nothing else than this. He's going to just make her do it.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be a deck out loss for Justin Templar. He doesn't have any supporter way to refresh. Cerys Jones has Itchy Pollen her way to victory. Happy Badoo year, everybody.
Who said Itchy Pollen was boring?
I don't think Justin's a big fan. Wow, what a finish. What a line for Cerys to find there. Justin had set up the game-winning combination of cards, but he didn't account for the little Badoo.
I mean, there was so much to digest there in that spot. Was there ever a spot where he could have maybe preserved one more energy?
Yeah, and that's where this open deck list comes into play. Cerys knew exactly how many energy cards Justin had. She knew that they were all in the discard pile, and so she knew that they were gonna go to that situation where she would win the deck out war. What a battle from Cerys to find that route. And now we're headed into a game number 2. Justin has chosen to go second. No surprise at all for both of these setup-based decks. They really want to be playing a supporter on their first turn, trying to have as strong of a setup as possible. What's going on here, Kyle?
Yeah, we're gonna be in for one right now.
Did Justin just pass?
Well,
Oh, he's going second.
yes, didn't see that part just yet, but we're gonna pass over on Cerys' turn. The prize card's a little scary this time around. There are 2 Dragapult EX. Thankfully, there are 3 copies, but wow, this is an uphill climb.
Wow, 2 Dragapult for Cerys, a Dreepy as well. And on Justin's side, a Turo. That's just a one-of in his list this weekend. Gimmighoul, also 2 Fighting Energy. Could be cause for concern whenever you're having to reach for so many energy cards to KO a Dragapult EX. He will kick off his opening turn with the Fighting Gong. Does find the basic Fighting Energy off of it. Does he have the way to get down the Soul Rock required in order to use Lunar Cycle on Lunatone? Looks like that answer will be yes, as Artisan will be played, and could maybe find the Artisan if he wanted to go the Secret Box route, but hey, perhaps the Nest Ball will be enough for him here.
Yeah, this is the one time where it's great to not see Buddy Poffin in the deck on your Arven search, because the 1 copy is finally in your hand.
Oh boy.
He's got the answer ready to go, and he has the Lunatone Soul Rock as well. This is a much better start, especially when you see your opponent pass the turn over with just Latias and Duskull in play. You can get the ball rolling, and he's looking to thin first of the gimmies before drawing through. Maybe a nod to the fact that second supporter or Golden Go, not guaranteed this time.
Yeah, and I think he's fine to operate from a board with just 2 Gimmighoul. Would rather make sure he can increase his odds to find some way to continue to advance his board on the next turn. So 2 Gimmighoul will hit the field from that Buddy Poffin, and here comes the Lunar Cycle, discarding the Fighting Energy to draw 3 cards. I do not see a supporter for the next turn. There's a Metal Energy, also a Pheasantipity were a knockout to happen, but don't think we're going to be seeing that here based off Cerys' start. Latias EX and a Duskull in her active spot.
Yeah, we see the Earthen Vessel. The only real lack right now is the Fighting Energy that we don't have for the following turn of Lunar Cycles. So load up on those while you can. Be prepared for what could happen, which may be that Badoo sneaking back in, locking out item cards, and buying more time. But we got a peek at Cerys' hand. It's abysmal.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going anywhere.
Does not look like Cerys had much going on that opening turn. Maybe a supporter hiding that she could not play. Let's see what the draw is. It is a Duskull, and I do not see a supporter, Kyle.
Nope.
I do. I see 1.
That's not a good one.
Boss's Orders is not going to be helpful to her here. And yes, just a pass of the turn. Now Justin here with a big opening. We'll kick it off with Lunar Cycle. If he can piece together a KO with a Golden Go here, that would be really strong.
Yeah, what does a Golden Go look like? Because I don't see any of those in that 10-card hand.
Yeah, no Golden Go, no Nest Ball or Genesect, or way to go get the Genesect. So maybe another slow turn here for Justin. It doesn't even have the option to Boss's Orders KO the Dusclops, as it's boosted its HP from evolving. It's no longer just a Duskull. Justin will.
It's time to punch a Latias.
Is that the route we're going here?
This is Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen.
Peak gameplay from top 8 here at the Toronto Regional Championships. Cerys draws for turn.
Oh!
And it is an Ultra Ball. That could find her a Dreepy to at least get some semblance of a board rolling.
Yeah, it's just the least impactful bit of help that you can get, because your opponent is sitting on Boss's Orders on the other side. As soon as that Dreepy's found, it will be KO'd, but you need to do this. Set up your chances. Maybe you have a Dracloak established on the next turn. But this is the way things are rolling at this stage. Just a rough hand to work through.
Dreepy is found for Cerys from this Ultra Ball. Going to just cross her fingers and pray that there is no Boss's Orders on Justin's side, but we know it is waiting in the wings should he choose to target this Pokemon down.
Yeah, you start to wonder, what could the 10 cards entail at that point, where nothing gets you through the deck or an evolution. It probably is the other cards that you're worried about.
Well, Cerys will try to make it as hard as possible, though, for Justin. Boss's Orders brings Gimmighoul into the active spot. Now a pass of the turn. Does Justin have
Ooh.
another air balloon is a
He
question.
does.
He does indeed, and he can get whatever 2 cards he wants from his deck here with that Cypher Maniac's code breaking.
Right, and it's a double-edged sword. If the boss's orders was available that turn, then you could have targeted down the Dreepy, but if you're not as worried, if you think you can get that Pokemon on a later turn, maybe you set up for Golden Go, Premium Power Pro, you can boss's orders with the Pro on the following turn and get that Pokemon out of the way.
Justin draws the 2 cards he set up with the Cypher Maniac, and then 1 additional. Now, a coin bonus will draw a couple more cards. There's an Earthen Vessel. Could lead to a KO here on this Latias. He would only need 3 energy to discard here. 1 to attach for turn, so 4 energy if he can find them. He's just 1 away right now, and I have to imagine with this large hand, there's a way to get 1 more energy card, Kyle.
Yeah, it's a lot that's starting to make sense over on this side. And for Justin, this wasn't a setup that really had a lot of gas just yet. He didn't get much going early. We see the prize cards haven't really fallen yet, but you'd much rather have this start as opposed to the previous one. This board state, drawing with Golden Go, this is the difference maker because you will burn through the deck and you'll have those resources when you need them.
There's the Earthen Vessel, discards the Genesect, no longer needed. Justin will find himself a pair of energy cards to ensure a KO on this active. That is all the energy from his deck. Doesn't look like there was anything else remaining, so he will be able to take this knockout. Now, the other thing for Justin to consider here in this spot is just what could Cerys do on her next turn? You know, if she were to top deck Iono, how would I want to best set myself up? He's obviously feeling good about the position he finds himself in, but, you know, Cerys is definitely not out of this.
Yep. Learning a little bit from the previous game. If you have energies available, maybe put those back in. Super Rod will help out in that instance, and you'll have more open draws post-Iono to find anything with your Lunatone Solrock on the bench.
If you were Cerys here, what would you rather find this turn? Is it Iono or is it Lily's Determination?
Oh, yes. You know, I'm not sure that any difference to the hand size on Justin right now really makes an impact, and it's not like you're taking a prize card and walking into Fez to see even more cards. That's for future turns, and that's definitely when you need to see the Iono.
So Lily's Determination will be what Cerys is hoping for here. She'll have 3 cards to find it from her Recon Directive plus her top deck. There is the KO on Justin's side. Make it rain, 150 damage. Down goes Latias EX. 2 prize cards to Justin. He strikes first. Cerys promotes the Dusclops. Draw for turn. It is the Jamming Tower, and now she is crossing her fingers off this Recon Directive. There's Professor's Research and Iono, both strong offerings. But will it be the Research or Iono being played here? It looks like it's actually Iono. She's really going to value saving this Hawlucha.
Yeah, I was nervous if that Hawlucha was the Moltres instead. Could you imagine at this spot with Fire Energy, Iono to go along with this, but now has to find those cards again.
And I wonder if that's exactly the play she's looking for here. Moltres plus a Fire Energy would lead to her getting a
Give us
knockout.
the bird. Oh,
there is the Moltres. I don't
Fez?
see an energy yet, but Fez can draw her some cards.
This is the problem, though. You have Ultra Ball. You could reshuffle and maybe see that Fire Energy
cards,
instead,
Kyle.
trying to find it here.
Needs a fire and does not get it. Was a little bit less likely thanks to 1 being sent to the bottom. Luminous Energy, of course, working for her as well as a potential play, but now no real movement for Cerys. She's got Ultra Ball, can maybe go get another Dreepy, but this is feeling like yet another slow turn. Justin is definitely going to be feeling solid after Cerys passes here.
I'm even curious if this is Badoo territory. You may just have to switch gears and pop the Dusclops for less than opportune situation, but you have to make your opponent have it in this instance. If there is not a single energy to go along with this, maybe you buy that turn or 2 to get that setup.
This is going to be a really strong play for Cerys because she is also taking out the Solrock. So getting rid of that Pokemon means that Justin needs to find another Solrock if he wants to use his Lunar Cycles. Here it comes, Itchy Pollen. Not before the use of a Night Stretcher does bring back a Duskull. And then, yes, Itchy Pollen, no damage thanks to the grass resistance of Golden Go EX. But still, that effect remains. Justin is unable to play item cards this turn. There is the coin bonus drawing 2 cards. Coin bonus once more, draws another, and there is Professor Turo's Scenario. Sorry, I misspoke in game number 1. Justin is playing 2 copies of the card. One is prized, that other one being found here. So he will have that option to pick up this Pokemon if he is able to find a fighting energy to attack with the Soul Rock.
And look at this. This is exactly what you're looking for. This is why he used Super Rod on that previous turn. He knew that there was a world where there's Iono in combination with Badoo. He finds the 3 of the 3 fighting energy, 2 of them right into the hand now, and he can start to draw up and have the resources to KO this Badoo here.
Now, I wonder what's better. Is it better for Justin to use something like the Turo here to attack with the Soul Rock, or should he just discard the energy card and take the KO with Make It Rain?
I'm not terrified of just attacking in right now with this Pokemon. You're asking so much of your opponent here. If Moltres were to be the answer, that is another Dusclops that's being used. Just a KO on the Moltres would be all that you need at that stage, and that's not asking very much of your deck when you already got the Gimme Ghoul played down.
Yeah, Justin definitely way out in front here so far, but Cerys found that unique line in game number 1. We'll see what she's got in her bag here for game number 2. Not quite out of it yet. Of course, these players do have extended time for top cut, 75 minutes as opposed to the normal 50, so less reason to concede a game that you feel like you have a good chance to lose. She can hang around here and still play to those outs. Recon Directive does find a Buddy Poffin. Is it time to bench the Moltres? Hey, why not? Here it comes. And Iono will be the supporter for turn, sending both players' hands to the bottom of the deck. Cerys getting 5 for her slow start, and Justin will only get 2.
It looked like Hilda was the card that was found off the Recon Directive, but that just wouldn't be enough in this instance. Needed to combo this with Hand Disruption. Looking to find something like that Neo Upper Energy at this stage would be huge. But even just a Jet Headbutt could be enough to soften this Pokemon and keep you in this game.
Cerys actually just asked the judge how much time was left, so that tells me that she's definitely considering
this isn't going well.
Yeah, she knows that she is unlikely to win this game, but if she can successfully buy a turn here from this Iono, perhaps there is a chance. That hand looks like it's got plenty of movement, though, for Justin. He'll start it off with the Nest Ball. At minimum, gets a shuffle of the deck. Could also get Pheasantipity established so that it is in play. Were a Golden Goat to go down, that is more draw power that he has available.
And this is exactly what we expect to see from Justin. He's shown us this time and time again. Not only is he playing his game, but he is making sure to set up his board and his hand to best help him in any situation from his opponent.
And Justin can win the game here this turn, and that's going to get him really close. He needs just 1 more energy card. He's got 2 in hand, plus the superior energy retrieval. I think he's still got access to that Flip the Script. He's going to use Lunar Cycle first, though, so now 2 more energy are going to be needed, or a superior energy retrieval, and he can guarantee it now with the Arven. His last 2 prize cards will be taken here, and Boss's Orders is also good enough as well. It can KO the Pheasantipity on the bench. Justin can discard the 2 cards, get 4 back. That's 5 energy. Boss's Orders KOs Fez, and we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, what a nice one there from Justin. It was really in the driver's seat the entirety of that game. Just the cards not falling the other way for Cerys. Just not a great setup, but that's to be expected sometimes. These are decks that have so many different cards to line up. If you don't have that early setup with Dracloak, drawing through, using Recon Directive, sometimes you run into trouble. Didn't stop her from really showing off her abilities, though. Saw a really great line there with the Badoo, and maybe if the energy wasn't found, we're talking about a different game.
Yeah, still trying to just hang on after the slow start. Definitely have to respect the efforts. Now heading into a 3rd game. Cerys will have that option, choosing to go first or second. I have to imagine going second will be the choice here. We saw Justin have a good enough of a start in that game against Jesse Parker where he went first, so we'll see if he can maybe replicate some of that magic here in this 3rd game. Let's recap that game number 2, though, as it was an interesting one for Justin. After Cerys' slow start, he was able to capitalize, and Cerys tried to find a way to fight back through the use of a Dusknoir. If she had found the Moltres play on this turn, it would have been really interesting, I think, but alas, that was not the case.
Yeah, just cards not falling that way. For Justin, he did find the right resource at the end of the game, either with the Arven overextending, taking a big KO there into the Dragon Ball, or with the boss's orders there to clear out the Fezandipity, finding those last 2 prize cards. But it all comes down to this. Game number 3.
One final game for one of our 2 players. One more chance for them to move on in this event. Regardless of the outcome here, they should both hold their heads high. They're so young compared to the field, and they have found themselves as the final 8 in this event. But both of them are hungry for that title. They want to become the regional champion.
We're seeing play that just well exceeds their age at this point. If you think that just by any means recently aging up or just a couple years in the division means anything, it certainly does not. We've seen some extremely great play.
Oftentimes these young players become the best a couple of years into their Masters Division stints. So we'll see which one of these players will continue that legacy. As this opening Pokemon have been found, prize cards are being laid out. And it looks like we are about to kick off this game number 3.
All right, this is where all my nerves kick in because you're watching Golden go first, and that is not a pretty sight. So often they don't find the resources to fill up their board. It really depends on these opening draws here with the Lunatone and Solrock, which we do thankfully see this time around, but he's going to get some bad news on this deck search. He's going to take a look through and see not 1, but 2 Nesball and an Artisan in the prize cards. How do you find the Gimme Ghouls at this stage?
Yeah, he's got 1 in his hand at least, so he can get 1 into play, but finding the rest will be potentially problematic, and especially considering the fact that Cerys has started Badoo in her active spot. That Pokemon will be locking Justin down. He won't have access to Arven for Secret Box, Arven for Buddy Poffin. He may have a tough time finding those Gimme Ghoul. As the Lunatone comes down, he will be able to Lunar Cycle here. I have to imagine we'll see lots of item cards played here for Justin, all the ones he can at least, trying to prep for that inevitable Itchy Pollen on Cerys' side.
Yeah, you really hope to see a lot on this opening turn. We're just not seeing that much. Is it really just those 2 cards, the energy and the Fighting Gong thrown down?
I wonder if he is going to Superior Energy Retrieval for 1 Fighting Energy, so that he has the guaranteed attack with the Cosmic Beam on the next turn.
Yeah, he almost flailed the hand thinking about it, but this is a pass of the turn now. With Air Balloon and Energy, you're not out yet. You always have Gimme Ghoul to draw energies and maybe set up the next turn, but that's slow.
Yeah. We'll see how things shape up here under the incoming item lock. Cerys, though, with a really nice draw from the top of her deck. Buddy Poffin, the best card you could play on your opening turn in one of these Stage 2 evolving decks, as it will search her out a pair of Dreepy to the field.
All right, and in a spot where typically in regular Swiss, maybe there'd only be 8-9 minutes remaining here. We have a full game ready to roll, so she will get full information of what is going on in those prize cards. No access to the Moltres this time around. Second Badoo not there either. A few things to worry about, but when you have triple Dreepy Energy item lock, I think you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know how much work the item lock is doing here. Justin has nothing in his hand. It's preventing him from playing that Superior to get back the fighting to do something.
Here it is.
Okay, he's going to retreat into the Gimme Ghoul, go for that minor errand running, searching the deck for 2 basic energy and adding them to the hand. Have to imagine a couple fighting energy most likely. Can set up for a future Lunar Cycle, can set up for the Cosmic Beam.
God. And you know what? This is actually a really sneaky charm to add into the mix here too, because walking into a Jet Headbutt on the other side from a Dracloak would have actually been devastating.
That's funny. Yeah, that is, I guess, what the play around is here with the Bravery Charm. Honestly, I don't know if Cerys would even go for it, though.
I love it.
Putting a Dracloak at risk whenever...
Get rid of the lone Gimme Ghoul. Get in there.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know, man. Hey, Premium Power Pro is just waiting on your opponent's side to punish that play.
We'll see. Maybe if Jamming Tower is included, if she has something to consider.
Now, Cerys has Iono in her hand, but she's definitely got the read that Justin's hand is not very good based on how little he did on his first turn and obviously doing nothing effectively on his second. So she may not want to play the card, but also at the same time, she's got to consider her own setup, her own board. So Ino is the only way she can continue to advance her board state. Is she going to do it? Yes.
Okay, energies are loaded up for Dracloak. If you find the Dragapult on the following turn, you really have a great chance at starting to take over at this spot. But this is what you really want to see at this point. Just additional Dracloak recon directives. If you chain together one more, you're really feeling comfortable here as you lock in this item lock and see all of the resources.
Itchy Pollen used 10 damage onto Gimmighoul. Justin here looking for, I have to imagine, a Golden Go EX, is unable to find it. Did find quite a few energy cards. They're not going to help him here with no Golden Go. He actually almost has Boss's Orders on that Dracloak to make it rain, KO it. He's only missing the Pokemon that knows how to use the attack, make it rain.
Ah, yes, and maybe one less of that card in the deck is starting to show its way to us as just 3 copies of Golden Go this time around. It's a little bit of a hindrance.
Hey, another Gimmighoul, not too bad to find, however. Does set up for multiple Golden Go's in play, which is ultimately what you want to do with this deck, of course.
But there's workaround. We see a damage counter on a Gimmighoul. A Boss's Orders and a Jamming Tower could be double KO on those Pokemon, removing that option from play. You could also see a Dusclops included in the mix there and Counter Catcher. There's so many things that could happen that really shut this down. And we see the Gimmighoul actually moving to the bench, making that a little easier too.
Just a pass of the turn now, back over to Cerys' side. There's an Ultra Ball that can find a third Dracloak. Will use her first recon directive here. There is the Dawn, a one-of that she plays in this list. Drawing 2 more from the recon directive. A pair of Ultra Ball, easy choice there. Does not have access. Oh, no, she does have access to the Neo Upper Energy if she wants it. Hilda was found at some point in the previous sequence off Iono. So she could attack with this active Pokemon once it becomes a Dragapult.
And this leads to another Pokemon added to the mix. Now you have this third Dracloak to draw a little bit further. Didn't see if there was access to the Dusclops yet, but if you find that, then you can take both these Gimmighouls off of the board.
I think that's why we're seeing the sequence here exactly as we are seeing it, because she has Ultra Ball in her hand. So she wanted to increase her odds to draw one of those 2 Pokemon here off of the Dracloak so that she could Ultra Ball for the other one. She does have 2 Ultra Balls, so she could still do it, but it will be a little bit more costly.
Yeah, I mean, even when the bench space opens up, there's Hawlucha that also helps out with some additional damage. If you can have to work through the Bravery Charm, I think that's almost online at this point here too.
So we will see the Dusclops being evolved here. Does she have? Yes, Dragapult actually already in the hand here for Cerys, so that was not a piece she needed to worry about finding. She will pop that Dusclops. 50 damage over to Justin's side. He will get a prize card, and that is going to activate the Counter Catcher. Boss's Orders unnecessary. This Counter Catcher will take out both of these Pokemon. No need to find Jamming Tower either. And you can tell by Justin's body language, he does not love that play.
Yep, that is tough to see. Not only do you have 0 answer to this Pokemon or this board state, you have nothing going on your side of the board. Pheasantipity, thankfully, is there in the hand, but what can you really accomplish? It has to have a Gimmighoul setup, but you can't disrupt the hand as Golden Go. And how do you stall for any time at this stage?
I think all of his plays start with Pheasantipity EX, and that is what he's going to use here. Flip the script to draw 3 cards. He's got the Lunar Cycle online. Could take a prize card here on the Bidoof potentially with a Boss's Orders play using Cosmic Beam. Still keep himself in line to go for the, even put himself back on even prizes, right? But, I mean, he's got to get a couple Gimmighouls down. If he gets just 1, you have to assume Cerys is going to be able to deal with just 1.
And I mean, if there was Premium Power Pro with the Boss's Orders, then you could take out this Dracloak, and then maybe one of these 2 Gimmighouls will withstand the test of time, take down that Dragapult that's staring you in the face. You're just asking so much of your deck at this point to find that single copy of an item with a boss's orders as your support for the turn. You just can't do it. So at least take the prize here now. Stay in the race for a little longer.
Going to keep himself on the even prize cards, but if Cerys has her Hawlucha, she can ping some damage onto one of those Gimmighoul, and if she can find boss's order, she can still remove both Gimmighoul from play, and she has a lot of cards she will be able to see. Recon Directive, flip the script already use end if she didn't have it already. There is the boss.
Oh man, Hawlucha's waiting in the hand there. Energy for the turn is also available for this Cloak, setting up for every resource possible. Flying entry down onto the Gimmighoul. You just need to target down one as you have the boss for the other. Sets up the soft damage for the Fez, and that's going to be enough to close things out as we see Justin Tefler packing it up, and Cerys Jones is moving on to the top 4.
Wow, what a set from both of these players. Cerys finding the path into that game number 1 where Justin seemed like he was in such a good spot. Turns out Itchy Pollen Kyle is a pretty good attack.
Yeah.